करण एंड शुभांगी, थोड़ा लैग हो रहा है, तो थोड़ा स्लो स्लो बोलो.
All right, we'll try that. Is it not audible in the live stream?
Hello, it's audible now? Is it audible now? Hello? Hello, it's audible now? Okay. Okay. So, shall I move on to our next introduction of our next speaker? Yes, I would like to now introduce Bhagat Singh. He's currently an intern at Zomato, and he was actually, sorry, my mistake. He was a intern at Zomato and got placed there as an iOS developer. He later joined PhonePe. Along with that, at that time, he wrote an article on Reddish.com, which became very popular. He was also a mentor at Audacity and Swift Delhi.
I've introduced Ashish Karan.
Okay, so I would like to move on to Aryan Arora. He is currently a software development engineer at Urban Clap and working as a backend developer. He's an ex-alumni of IIPC GTBIT, for which I'm volunteering for, and he was also an intern at Wishfire as well. So that's the introduction of our speakers. Shall we move now? Let's move on to a question session from our very own students who send their requests through their forms.
Also, if you have any questions, please put them on in the YouTube live chat. We will take them up later.
So let's take a question. Firstly, it's for Jashan. First question is, what are the challenges and experiences that you have had working for a startup? And why did you choose to work with a startup instead of a company?
Okay, thank you. So, challenges, I don't think there are any challenges for working in a startup, because when you work in a startup, there is a burden of work as compared to huge MNCs. But yeah, it's fun actually. And if you say that why I preferred a startup as compared to a huge MNC, so it's very subjective. I always wanted to work in a very small team, in a very fast-paced environment, and this kind of a personal decision only, because I always wanted to work closely with the business teams. So if you go to a huge MNC, you will never get to know what's going on the business part of the company. But yeah, for my company, I am directly connected with the account section or even the business part of the company. And yeah, even we get opportunity to talk to the CEO of the company, and which is not at all possible in huge MNCs. So again, it's kind of a personal decision only to work in such kind of an environment. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's a nice one. Okay, so moving on to you, Shubhangi. Next question.
The next question is for Shreya D. Our question is, can you please share your experience in Tech Geek Goddess 2019? I guess she isn't in the call. Let's move.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was. Well, thank you very much for having me here. regarding the techie geek goddess, I think it was one of the, for me, it was one of the first platform to actually be there in any of the live coding competition. And I got to know about this because American Express, where I'm working currently, it's one of the key hosts who organizes it. And to be there at a platform where you see that there are 70,000 of women being coding together and on the spot in the final, when you are the finalist among them, you are the top 150 of so many people in the entire country, then you feel extremely delighted and happy that yeah, you're the finalist. But when you are there in that room with around 150 women who has good experience of competitive coding, I think it's something like you feel. I think you it gets you on the nerve, and you can feel your heartbeat. But I think that is that silence and everyone actually being there and coding together. I think it brings in a lot of unity. Um, though it was my first one, but I think that was extremely exciting and wonderful journey for me. And I really look forward to attending more competitive coding competitions. So it happens once a year, but yeah, that was extremely.
Thank you for the answer.
So moving on, let's have next. Our next question is to Mr. Bhagat. So, how did you approach your Zomato placement interview as an iOS developer?
Yeah, so actually, I was an intern at Zomato first. So, how I got that internship was through my college alumni who was placed there before. So, I forwarded my resume to them, and then I got an interview at Zomato for an internship. Post my internship, I got a return offer, which is also called a PPO, to work there. So, yeah.
Okay, so the next question is for Aaron Arora. Is competitive programming sufficient for cracking the interview of product-based companies? What types of projects should a competitive programmer choose to add value to the resume?
Okay, so first of all, hi everyone. There's like the classic question that I've heard a lot, and what I like to add first is that so basically, as a software developer engineer, what's your job? Your job can be fitted into a one-liner sentence that is you solve problems. Okay, so and that is what you do when you are doing competitive programming. So you basically solve problems, right? You're giving a problem statement, and you have to provide a solution for that. That is at crux what competitive programming is, right? So and this is basically and usually most of the cases this is enough for companies, but it also depends on what type of company you are applying for. So if you apply for an early stage startup, and so usually those companies may require you to have prior knowledge on particular framework and language that they use, and they want you to just come into the company and start delivering features right away. So it depends upon the need of the company, and basically almost all the companies they first invest in you into learning something new. They see that you have the basic problem solving aptitude, and they invest in you to train you, and then you start delivering them the stuff. But in some other companies, like very early stage startups, they look forward for the candidates who already have prior experience in that, and so they can start working right away. Moving on to the next part of the question as to what projects you should create so you can add value in your resume. Mm, so when you do a project, you have to make yourself like you need to do something unique, or basically what is meaningful to you. You have to create something meaningful. If you create a project that is already there over the internet and you just copy paste it and you just do it for the learning purposes, that's all right. But it doesn't really, make you stand out if you send your resume to a very good company it doesn't really stand out if you do a project that is like available very easily on the internet, and that people can find on any resume basically. So you have to you have to research something, and you have to actually put your efforts and thoughts into what you can solve. I mean, the problem statement that you are solving is the key factor that can make your project stand out. It doesn't even depend upon the technology you are using. It depends upon the problem you are solving. So that is about it. Make projects and solve for the problem itself. Like just research and have a good problem statement. That's it.
Thank you. That was a really insightful answer.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. So I have a next question for Ashish. So one of my friends asked, why did you choose Alexa over Google Assistant? That's a very valid question.
Okay, yeah, that's really a good thought-provoking question. But first of all, thank you for having me here, and I hope all of you are having a good time right now. Now, coming to the question, why Alexa or Google Assistant? One of the major reasons was the first workshop or my first introduction to voice was with Alexa, so it definitely left a good impression. So, and like we say, the first impression is the last impression. So Alexa just struck me straight away. And after that, during my complete journey, I have found that the resources, the learning material, the roadmap to becoming an Alexa developer today is very much easier compared to learning and building a career using Google Assistant as a major platform. Google has recently been pushing a lot of content out, but it will takes a lot of time before they actually catch up with the current ecosystem that Amazon has provoked right now. So that's what's kept me engrossed towards Alexa. The developer support, the community. We have a Slack community of over 4,000 active Alexa developers only in India, and I'm not even counting the numbers outside. So the community keeps me there. The continuous YouTube videos, documentation, resources, and if you make projects and run into issues, there is always a point of contact available, which sadly I am yet to find a seamless way whenever I work on a Google project. So being all this, the dev experience is really nice, and that's what keep me hooked to this side of the things.
So thank you, Ashish, for that. It's moving on to next question, Shubhangi.
The next question is for Jashanpreet. How was your experience at MIT Bootcamp? Can you please share how did you apply and what were the perks, and if it plays a role in placements and all?
Thank you, Shubhangi. Yeah, so for MIT boot camps was like I took a fire hose of innovation. It was a overloaded innovation, of kind of experience. So yeah, actually we visited there. Out of like 40 to 50,000 applicants, around 98 were selected for the same. Okay, and we visited there and we actually launched a real startup within 7 days of that experience. And it was very exhaustive. We used to work from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. Yeah. So it was really exhaustive, and we actually launched a startup. And uh, what was the next question? Does participating in events like this play a role in placements? Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you are not participating in these types of events, you won't get a placement. But yeah, if you are participating actively in any such kind of event, you will definitely get a edge over other participants, because uh, the one who will interview you will get to know that you are actually active. You are not like just studying and doing algorithms, data structures and all, but yeah, you know the real world, how to solve the real problems. As Aryan rightly mentioned, that the main thing is how you are solving the problem and what problem you are solving. So it's touched on that only. Yeah, thank you.
The next part of the question was how did you apply for it?
Okay, so actually the backstory is that I got selected for the same for second time. I applied for the first time in 2017. Okay. And yeah, I actually got rejected, and they gave me a real feedback. You know, MIT is something that they don't just reject you, they will give you a feedback and kind of a huge document they will give you that, yeah, these are the points that where you need to improve on. So I actually improved on those pointers, and those were not the technical pointers. They only mentioned the pointers for leadership qualities or managerial qualities. I actually improved and worked on those qualities, and yeah, I reapplied for it and I got selected. And yeah, so the website to apply is bootcamp.mit.edu. So it's just very simple that there are 3 rounds of interviews. They first ask for a introduction video and will go through your profile, and next they will take 2 rounds of interview. And yeah, it was exhaustive. It's not very easy to get into it, but yeah, anyways, I definitely got into it.
Thank you. That was a very insightful answer. Next question.
Yes. Next question is for Shreya. Do you think working as a head of societies and management in college count in your CVs?
Okay. So answering that, I would say it can be direct and indirect. If I have to answer that, the reason why I particularly did was because that since I was from a different field altogether, so that gave me an encouragement and a step forward to represent myself in the college, and also to connect with others and see what can this field actually brings to me. But if I talk about adding it to the CV, I think when it comes to the interview rounds, I would say it gives you self confidence to speak about what all you have achieved. I think it makes you different and unique from others because you have been the one who have been doing this, and you have a sense of competitiveness within you, that you are better than others, and you are the one who cracked it and are leading it. So it some way actually makes the other person who is asking you, making you feel that yeah, you are better than others and is the reason that he or she should hire you. So in that way, I would say yes, it does bring a lot of effect in our CVs. But if I talk about, say, in a technical role, suppose I am in a technical role, it wasn't that apart from my technical skills, they didn't ask me what other things I didn't do. This thing, when you highlight that these are the things that you've been doing in your college, I think the other person actually sees it, that yeah, there was something added, something else, and you are not just a boring person, but you try and you look for other things to work upon. And then that you're a very interesting person and like to try out new things. You are not someone who just focuses on the work that is given, but yeah, you are the one who is going to bring in new ideas at the team. It also brings in a sense of responsibility, I think, and makes you better at managing things. I think while I was heading DSC, since I was leading it for entire 1.5 year, I think that responsibility for me, that I am the one who has to handle everything, and starting from conducting the webinar, the sessions, to actually make a new person out of my own, was something that the entire journey taught me. So whenever I had to really talk about myself, that was another perk, that was another feather added to my hat, that I was different than others, and I am different, I am unique, and I'm exciting to work, and definitely I am the best person that you should have.
Thank you for that answer. The next question is for Bhagat. What mistakes a junior developer makes that they can avoid while learning iOS development?
Okay, so I feel mostly the students make the mistake of stopping. Like if they get into a problem, and they find nobody to help them, but they just stop or they just abandon stuff. So the first and foremost thing would be to not stop. Uh, Also, the second thing would be to learn as much as they can uh, with respect to what they're learning. And preferably, I would want each and everyone of the learners to get a mentor if possible. But if not, then like self learning is the key for everything, I guess. And with everything available on YouTube and online nowadays, I think the only thing needed to learn something is motivation, and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
So that's great, actually. And I'm going to ask my next question to Aryan. Um it's written backend BAS backend as a service versus custom backend. Which one would you choose and why? Was I was Aryan? Did you able to hear my question, or shall I repeat it?
You can actually move to the next question.
Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Actually, there was a power cut at my locality, so Wi-Fi got reset. Actually, so I got disconnected. Okay, so my next question would be to let me it would be to I think yeah. Let me check. Let me check. I I would Jashan, Miss Jashan for Jashan. Once I heard a VP is the largest a VP of the largest startup of India, Paytm, saying हमारे गुरुग्राम के ऑफिस के आगे पानी बाहर जाता है एयर सुबह सुबह सबसे पहले काम यही करना पड़ता है रिसेप्शनिस्ट को भी पानी साफ करिए ट्रेस से. This shows even after one of the biggest, most valuable startups in India, government don't consider startups as an asset. Why does a startup expect what does a startup expect from government? And do you think after this pandemic there will be some relaxation for startups?
Okay, so I was not aware of this Paytm thing, but yeah. So I'm not sure about the government, but yeah, startups are the real power of any country. They're the real power of any economy. Okay, so if we talk about what startups are expecting from the government is very simple. They want the ease of regulatory compliance. That's it. Actually, the most topmost priority is startup want the ease on the regulatory compliances, and yeah, they want initiatives for access to the seed fundings. So startups really expect government to act as a facilitator for the upcoming startups by giving an access to the seed funding, or they want incubation centers for the new ideas. And after this pandemic, again, I really can't comment about the government, but yeah, startups are really innovating. They are really innovating uh, for after pandemic situation. So we will definitely bounce back like a tiger, actually.
Yeah, let's hope for the best in these desperate times. Hopefully, some positivity comes. Okay. So,
Yeah.
off to Shubhangi for the next.
The next question is for Ashish. Since you have worked as a voice developer, so is it a good idea to pursue it as a full-time career?
Yeah, yeah, I will say that. Like, it's definitely a good idea to pursue a role in voice because there are many reasons. First of all, major companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Samsung, all of these big giants are investing billions of dollars in this industry, which should be sufficient enough to give us the back strength that voice is something which is here to stay. And another reason why it will be a good time to pick up voice right now is because if you look at the industry, this is very, very naive. It's just started around 5 years back. Like the maximum experience you can expect a guy to have right now in voice will be at max 5 years because Alexa was launched around late 2015. So it's not like the mobile industry or the web industry where if you are just getting into the field, there are people who might there be with experience which is more than your age. So it's not the situation is not like that. You don't have to catch up much. So if you are just getting started, there is a good opportunity available. But the same like everything has a pro and a con. The con here will be since there are not too many people working into it, the pathway will definitely be having a lot of roadblocks, and most of the time you might not get enough support or see people around you doing the same thing. But it's a new industry, and if you devote enough time to it right now, I think being a specialist in any niche technology, be it not only voice, be it like Swift UI, be it AR, VR, be it IoT, any industry which has just started getting picked up, it's just going to give you enough benefits and soon in near time. So yeah, definitely a good time to get involved.
Thanks for the answer.
Thank you, Ashish. It was really intriguing. As myself, I have also loved developing my skills for Action Google and for Alexa. So certainly a good thing for future. So my next question is for Shreya, and this is from YouTube comments actually. So since you're working in American Express, all of the competitions, do they organize regularly apart from the coding ones?
Yeah, I think I answered that in the comment right now. I think for those the competitions, probably since I'm from a technical team and I am more familiar to that domain. So I am more known to the technical competitions that we have, which is particularly for the Amex employees, and as well as some competitions are there which are open to all. For example, like Tech Geek Goddess, which I participated last year, is open to all and all the women in the country. There are some hackathons which are open to all. We have platforms like TechGeek, Hacker Earth, and Hacker Rank, where we have competitions every year, and we actually hire through those competitions. Regarding the non-technical competitions, if you are looking for anything in particular, I would just ask that you write it down so that I can look for it and just let you.
So the next question is for Bhagat. This is a question from the YouTube live. Does college really matter or can we drop out?
It is good to have a degree, but it is debatable if you learn something through that degree. So I would say everyone should have a degree and not drop out, but do something meaningful that they can work all their lives with. So yeah.
Okay, another question is do technologies like Flutter, are they viable to learn in today's day or should we stick with the traditional technology?
Okay, so Flutter is very good as it is emerging very well across the globe. So I would say that it it depends on what you want to learn. And it depends on what your interests are. If your interests are coding multi-platform apps, so definitely Flutter or React is the way to go. But if you are like you want to go into a niche or do something specific, then native would be the way to go. So it all depends on your interests and where do you want to work is also a factor that you need to take in. So if your company, if your dream company or where you're applying uses Flutter, so there's no harm in learning it.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. For next question is for Ashish. So how is a voice hackathon different from a standard one? Taking in context of the great Alexa hackathon, or to prepare for it, and what will be the should be kept in mind for it?
Okay, so the basic idea behind any hackathon is the same. Like you have to come up with a super cool, interesting idea around the themes, and you have to build a product in a certain amount of time. And based on the judging parameters, you are then awarded a prize or whatever you win. So in a voice hackathon, like the name suggests, the product that you build, it must be something revolving voice, how voice as an interface can solve problems in day-to-day lives. Taking context of the Great Indian Alexa Hackathon, which just concluded, the theme there was transforming daily lives using Alexa. And the description about that was we had to build a solution which could help the users in their day-to-day lives in these situations where it we're turning to the Alexa devices for a few minutes of a day only. They can do something productive like home workout sessions or language learning solution like I built, or something around the same thing, like small utility tasks which don't take that much effort and actually removes the friction when you are using them via a visual interface, like on a mobile phone or on a website. For example, if you are working out, you want to be hands free. So voice is a great use case in that terms. So that hackathon focused around building solutions which used voice. And my solution was LearnLingo, which is a language learning product. And you can learn Spanish, German, Hindi, French, and Italian through it right now through a daily challenge mechanism. You can check it out. It's live on the Alexa Skill Store. But the idea behind it was that you can spend 5 minutes each day talking to an Alexa device, hearing a voice, teaching you a different language. And through this daily practice, you will maybe learn a new language in this current in time. So yeah, that was the idea behind this voice hackathon and my solution.
Thank you for that answer. The next question is for Aaron. What are the qualities and key points recruiter focus other than problem solving and DSA?
So if you think like if you think about it, the answer is quite obvious, I guess. When we apply for a company and when we go for the interview, so the person basically
Really sorry, I can't hear you. I guess. Okay, so I'll ask the next question. The next question is from YouTube Live as well. This is for Shreyadi. Since you're already working in American Express, so all competitions, do they organize regularly? Apart, what are the other competitions that they organize regularly from the coding?
I think I again answer that just now. Apart from non-coding competitions, I think what I remember Niharika asked me that if we have debates or something like that. I would say that since most the main idea of hosting such competitions is external hiring, and we can bring in new people with new ideas who doesn't have that reach or doesn't have that scope to actually reach to big organizations like American Express. So the main idea is to actually attract those people and give them a platform. Since Amex actually focus on hiring from colleges, particularly from tier 1 and tier 2 colleges. So, in particular, if I talk about debates or extempore, we don't actually have any competitions like that, which isn't in my knowledge as of now. Technical competitions and could be something related to finance. Maybe we would be having some other platforms where we would be hosting such competitions, but I think that would be something I would need to check, or maybe anyone could actually go to our Amex site, our website, and actually check for himself.
Thank you for that answer.
Thank you, Shreya, for that answer. Now, I would like to throw in for a question for discussion that is open to all the speakers. Someone asks that I'm not in a very good college. I will have to apply for off-campuses placements in my third year. How difficult is it, and how am I actually supposed to go for one? This is open for all speakers. Aaron, would you like to answer it, or Jashanpreet, do you want to like to answer it?
Yeah, I was just testing my connection right now. So, yeah, hopefully I can start. I guess it is working. So, regarding like applying off campus jobs, this is a bit tricky business. I mean, when companies come to your colleges, it is quite easy for you to keep track and give the interviews. But when you want to apply off campus, like you have to do a lot of hard work there. So I guess the first thing that you want to do is you want to shortlist which type of companies that you want to be working for. I mean, that is the first step, that you shortlist the companies that you would want to work for. And other than that, when you apply off campus, the very first thing that is required is for you to land the interview. I mean, that is the very first basic difficult step. Like landing the interview is the very difficult step that most of the people faces. For that, you have to create a very good and attractive resume. Like you have to make it very pleasing to the eye, and like whenever the person sees your resume, that he should know that okay, this is the person, and I'm gonna at least invite him for the first round. I'm gonna invest some time vetting this guy. So yes, that is the first point that you should definitely spend some time in. You should once you search for the companies that you want to work for, you look over them on the LinkedIn, and you start message the people, the people who work there, or the CTOs or CEOs, anyone. Believe me, people do reply. I've done this, and I got a lot of responses from them too. So these are the like first basic steps that you should do. You should first create a good profile. You should know what you're aiming for. You should create a good resume, and at least just land that interview first. That is the first step. And so keep it like this. Imagine it like this, that you have one shot for a company, right? So do not apply till the time that you are sure that you are ready to give the interview. So you have one shot. You do not want to waste the opportunity of interviewing with that company. So these are some key points that I think people should know.
Thank you. So my next question is for Shreyali. How was your GHCI experience since you were a scholar? How did you get selected, and how did you get placed at Amex from there?
Okay. So actually, I didn't apply for the application, but since I was a DSC lead for 1.5 years, so DSC actually gave this opportunity to all the women leaders, to all the girl leaders which were there, to actually be there and be a part of this great celebration. So GHCI, if many people if doesn't know about it, so that is Grace Hopper Celebration India, which this is one of the largest celebration of women in technology, which happens every year in Bangalore in November. So I think this opportunity which Google gave me, so that it was a fully funded experience for me, where you expect all the dream companies. I mean, if you just name any company and the company would be there. So they have that career fair where they give on-spot opportunities. They give offers. They give on-spot offers, so you can actually apply for them beforehand through their portal, which is on their website. Or if you want to go and try out your luck, and if you are very sure that you have prepared your basics, you're good at your DS and Algo, do carry your resumes, and companies like American Express do actually welcome you and shortlist you on spot. So I think 2018 it was when I went for the second time at the conference, and I took it was my second time. So in total, I've been at Grace Hopper for 3 times in a row. In the first year, I didn't know that this was something that happens at GHCI. So when the second time I went there, since I was in my final year, so I was brushing up my basics, my DS and Algo. I had a lot of projects with me, and I had a pretty good resume by that time. So I thought why not try it? And I knew that being in American Express is not so easy, because since I'm from tier 3 college, so companies like this is definitely not to come in my campus. So I was there. I think if any other person, or like if you go to any platforms, for example, like Hacker Earth and Hacker Rank, and you apply offline, so you go through a series of 7 to 8 interview rounds, but it was just 2 rounds. In total, 2 rounds. So back to back 2 rounds. And by the end of the day, the offer was in my hand that, we have an opportunity for you. And you are offered an SDE role at American Express. So I think if anyone, it's not biased. I mean, it's not about just only women can go at the fair. Career fair is free of cost. Anyone can actually be there. Just carry out your resumes, be confident. Go to any of the booth of the company, say, are you conducting interviews? And if they say yes, go, give your resume, and do definitely go and take this opportunity, take the leverage of this opportunity.
Thank you for the answer.
Thank you, Shreya, for that. So I have another question. I have one more question. I think from YouTube comments. Do studying and this is open for all the speakers. Do studying MBA after engineering get you a better package? Considering you must have some of your co-workers with MBA degree too. So this is open for all the speakers.
Okay, so I would like to take this. Yeah, so the question is, do MBA makes a probability for higher package? Okay, so first of all, don't do MBA for package. You can actually get higher packages as a software developer also. But if you are really interested in going into management field, then only take MBA. And so money is the secondary part. And MBAs are highly paid in India as well. So the only thing is don't do MBA just because of the package. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for that answer. I think that I should explain this to my mom and dad, who will pressurize me to do an MBA, to explain them what my reasoning would be. So, Shivangi, your next question?
Just to add to this, I'll take a minute to add to this. I think that is a very well said point what Jashan said, that one should actually not do MBA because you're going to get a higher package, and with your skills that you already have with doing just a graduation, you can actually build up your skills and get a good package. But what I'll say, one of the reasons, since I'm at American Express and it's all about people leaders and a lot of managerial roles as well in my company. So what I've seen here is that if you are looking, maybe suppose if you are from a technical domain and you want to move to a different field, suppose like marketing, sales or HR. So for that, if you really want to grasp that experience, not through a journey while working, but through education, I think MBA would be a good option for you, where you can grasp and get more knowledge, more insights about actually how that thing works. And over the period of time after education, you get that experience and be that in your field.
So this next question is for Aaron. This is from your juniors at IIPC GTPIT. They are asking, ये क्वारंटीन कब खत्म होगा and क्वारंटीन के बाद सबसे पहली चीज क्या करोगे?
Okay, I guess this must be Maninder asking this question. And I don't know why he's so interested into knowing this. But point number है, quarantine कब खत्म होगा? And you'll know, bro. मोदी जी आएगी, वो बता देगी खत्म हो गया है. मैं भी उन्हीं का वेट कर रहा हूँ. एंड मैं सबसे पहले क्या करूंगा, आई गेस मुझे बस घूमना है भाई. मुझे बाहर जाके खाना है और घूमना है. दिस इज व्हाट आई एम मिसिंग द मोस्ट. मुझे ट्रिप्स करनी है भाई. So that is the thing maybe I'll do. So yeah. Next question.
Certainly, we are all waiting for that. मैं भी मतलब literally कई दिनों से मतलब बाहर का खाना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन everyone is waiting for that. Everyone of us is missing at GTBIT Bindra's Pakode. Many of you would know that. And moving on to our next question. It's for Shreya. It's from YouTube comments again. Should we prepare placements through self-learning, or should we join some placement courses like interview bits or pep coding or any other placement course?
Okay. I think it depends that if you are want to do it particularly for cracking your college placements. I think this is one of the questions that was recently asked to me by a lot of GTBIT students, because they have some special classes being conducted. I told them that, and to everyone who's asking me this question, that what is your goal? If you really want to, first of all, that if you really want to prepare for DS Algo or anything like that. So what is your main purpose of doing it? Main purpose, if it's like just to crack the companies which are coming in your campus and you want to crack for them, I think starting with self. And if you think that, you don't have much time with you and you rigorously want someone to coach you, then I would say go for any of the institutes like Coding Ninjas or Web Coding, whatever. But I think at the same time, if you're thinking yourself that you want to do it for the perspective of development, right? For suppose you are a backend, you love backend, or you want to do front end, and you suppose that. I think for that perspective, getting into deep dive knowledge of data structures, maybe like complex concepts, like maybe like trees, graphs. It's not something that it's very often used there. But if again, like it totally depends upon the career journey you want to take for yourself. If you think that, you really want to start with a company where you are willing to take up the work they want to take, then I think getting yourself brushed up. So, anyways, DS algo would be required if any technical work you want to do, be in development or be it for any XYZ company. So it again depends upon you that what is your future job.
So the next question is open for all. How did networking or communities play a part in your professional life? Anyone can answer that.
Can you repeat the question again?
How did networking or communities play a part in your professional journey?
Okay, so maybe I can take this and add some points here. So networking, according to me, is quite important. I mean, I guess all of you have heard that you need to be in the right place at the right time to get an opportunity or something. Okay, so I guess this is the main point that always occurred to me, that if you network good, if you have a good network, so you can get a lot of opportunities which you may not get if you do not know like a lot of people. So this is one point that has really helped me also. I got my first internship through networks, and I got to know about a lot of interviews and drives through my network only. And I guess this is the point that has really helped me a lot in professionally as well as in a non-professional way in my life too. So knowing a lot of people, like just socializing with people, is a very great thing to do, and it's quite it has its own rewards basically. Yeah, this is my take on this.
Anyone else would like to answer the same question, if communities or networking play a role in your professional life? On to the next question. Karan?
Yeah, sure. It's question for you. This is a bit of fun one. If you go back, to in time, if you could go back, what is the one thing that you could do instead that you didn't do, or you could undo something that you did in past? You could change your past by doing something. So what it would be?
Okay, so that's an intriguing question. I think what actually comes in your journey is something that you keep following. There had been a lot of times in my life where I wanted to do something, I eventually landed doing something else. And but one of the things that I would want to change, I think, would be, I'm not really sure that how would that come up to me, but since I was preparing for medical, but eventually ended up in doing BTech, I don't know how would my life journey would seem like today, but might I want to have dropped in here and prepare for my MBBS once again. But since I'm someone who really thinks that destiny has something beautiful for you, so I accepted this opportunity with my wholeheartedness, and I'm happy that where I am today. But why not to try something else? How that life would have been.
So the next question, and it is a very commonly asked question. How did you start preparing for the SDE role? Anyone can take that up.
Yeah, so I'll take this question. Yeah, so
I can take this together.
yeah, sure. So I think it's the common thing. It's just Algo DS. You want to add something else?
It just happens to be basically when you approach like the placement time and everyone around you is studying, and you are also trying to get a good job. So everyone starts following someone from YouTube or like geek articles, like how should they go about it. And it's a mixture of all those things they follow, like advice from YouTube, advice from geek articles, advice from fellow seniors. So it becomes a mixture from all the other sources that we know, and in this case, too, networking too helps a lot. So I guess a lot of feedbacks and opinions from a lot of persons and communities. It just creates a very well mixture that how we prepared it, I guess.
Yeah. So again, if I'll share my journey, I was really very busy with boot camps and all these things since March. Okay, so our college sessions end in June, July. Okay, and till March I was busy with my stuff only. I don't even know what's going on with the placements, and so again I started preparing for the algorithms, data structures, and directly shifted to the Bangalore without any job. Yeah, I had some offers from Delhi and Pune, but those were from MNCs only. Again, it's very personal to me that I don't want to work in the MNC. So I shifted to the Bangalore and gave interview in a few companies, and yeah, got placed. So again, it's just algorithms and data structure for me.
All right. Thanks for that answer. Next question, Karan.
Oh, this question has been posed from my team pretty much from last half an hour, and it's a pretty interesting one. And this question goes to Bhagat Priya. Okay, so Jat da mukabla das nu kithe hai nahi. What do you answer at that? My team has been forcing me to have this question to you.
I guess Bhagat is not in the call.
But it's not in the call. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway, we would like to move on to the next question. This is for Ashish. Can you explain your GSOC journey and how can we ace it? This is from YouTube Live.
So my GSOC journey was pretty different from the most of the usual journeys. And just a disclaimer, it's my GSOC journey is not the best one, which is something you should do, and it's definitely not a completely success story because I just started around 8 or 9 days before the application deadline, and most people usually start months before that. So it was not that guaranteed that I will get into GSOCs, but I had some hopes. I just went into an organization. I pitched my own idea because the ideas which are usually being worked on in big orgs, they have been there in existence for months or even years before. So the best hope that I had in cracking GSOC in 10 days was just pitching something of my own. And if the mentors liked it, then we would have moved forward with that. And long story short, that's what happened. I just proposed the Rocket Chat that, hey, you already have a nice mobile app, you have a website, you have an Electron app for the desktops. Why are you not present on voice interfaces? And the mentor was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. What do you have in mind? And then I quickly, within a few days, even before the deadline, I started built a POC and showed it to him. And that's where he thought, yeah, this could potentially be a project this year. That's how things went from there. And after the application period, the period between when the student gets selected and after the application period, that one month is very crucial. A lot of people just send their proposal and stop working. But the mentors have about a month to judge the proposals, and that's the time you can actually make a difference. So I kept on contributing even after the application deadline was over, and voila, by the end of the selection results, I had my name there, and the rest of the journey went on like it usually goes. It went pretty smooth. 3 months later, I successfully completed GSOC, and this year I will be mentoring the same project, but I will not be participating as a student, but I am a mentor for Rocket Chat this year, and let's see how this one goes this time. And another funny thing was that my GSOC project was about an Alexa skill. So I worked on an Alexa project while being funded by Google. So that was quite fun for me.
It seems very interesting. So the next question is from YouTube Live and is open for all. How important are placements exams such as CoCube's test, AMCAT, or Litmus? Should one give these tests or just rely on campus placement? Anyone wants to take that up?
Yeah. So you were talking about exams like e-litmus, co-cubes, and
AMCAT.
MCAT, right? Okay, so it's very personal opinion that if you're not from a very good college, okay, you will not get opportunities for on-campus placements, like good opportunities. Okay, so what I believe is don't go for MCAT. Okay, and for e-litmus and co-cubes, they really have good opportunities. Even I'm working in Chai Point. I went there for through co-cubes only. So yeah, it just gets you an opportunity.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. Next question, Karan, can you please take that?
Yeah, this question is also a bit fun one and open to all speakers. Guide us on. Can you guide us all for what extracurricular activities did you participate in your college life? It's open for everyone.
I think I would want to take it up. If we talk about extracurricular activities, I think I've been involved in this from the very first year of my college, because that was the one step I really want to bridge the gap between what I had studied so far and what I am into right now. So I think that is something that gives you a platform which increases your confidence to the peak. I mean, it gives you that responsibility and that confidence to speak up. That how you're going to represent yourself, how in different situations you're going to react, and how, despite that, you have a lot of things to work upon, new things that are coming up, how you would want to represent it. So I think starting from the first year, I was there at CSI. I've been heading Leaders Club for Tomorrow. Then I took up the responsibility of being one of the first leads, DSC leads in the country. Then apart from that, extracurricular activities, I think hackathons is something, if you are there in a technical domain, that you should definitely try that in your tenure of college life, because that gives you a lot of exposure to bring something out of the box, the problem statements that actually makes you think out of the box, and makes and allows your creativity to come out through the technical skills that you've developed. And that definitely adds to your resume, to your portfolio, and it gives you an immense confidence to speak about.
Okay. So the next question is for Bhagat. Is it essential to learn designing as a part of mobile app developer journey, as some companies look for those who can design and code? This is from YouTube Live.
Yeah, so I think it is good if you learn design as well as your development, because it gives you a sense of what works and what not, and it also gives you a sense in your personal projects as to what looks good and what does not. So it is definitely a plus if you would try to learn design. Most of the people don't have a knack for it, but if you have the knack for it and you are interested, so I think you should go all out for it. Uh, by company hiring a person who knows design as well as development, I don't think that should be the case, because if you're designing for a company, that is it in itself a very big and major role. And I don't think nobody has the time to double do it with development and design. So I think if you're doing it for your personal knack, then it's all out. You should go for it. But I'm not saying that if your company wants it, don't do it. But yeah, if you like it, then go for it. There's nothing stopping.
Okay. So next question, Karan.
Yeah, next question. Let me see. One question is there. I'm currently working on Android with Kotlin. but cross-platform like Flutter and React Native are in demand. So should I shift onto them or work on advanced native Android? This is also open for all speakers.
I think I'll go for it. So yeah, so if anyone is doing React or Flutter or considering switching to React or Flutter, it's their personal opinion. React and Flutter have developed a major support over the years now, and many companies are opting for React and Flutter for their first products. It is nothing wrong in doing cross-platform development now because it has a major community support building up as well. So I think for people who are into Android and want to explore the other side, or into iOS and want to explore the other side, React and Flutter are very two good options which they can try. So it basically depends on what you want to achieve yourself. Like what thing do you have a knack for? If you like developing both apps, then definitely go for the cross-platform side. But if you want to go into a niche and build Android project specifically and that way, so native is the best way to go for it.
So,
Thank you for the answer. I think Maninder wants to ask you some Bhagat Bhaiya wants to ask you one question, Maninder specifically. So I would like him to unmute himself and ask the question himself only. So hey, off to you, Maninder.
Go for it.
After seeing the comments of Bhagat Bhaiya, I want to ask, जट का मुकाबला है कितने?
Okay. I have not seen his comment, but I don't know what it is specifically referring to. But that is not there. Yeah.
Guys, start rapid fire.
Anyway, moving on to the rapid fire, you all have to answer this together, and these are just like chill questions. So the first would be software development or hardware development?
Software.
Software developer.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee. Anytime.
Tea for me. Bhai, Jashan, you work at Chai Point, right? Hello.
Next is solo trips or group trips?
Solo.
I think so.
Group. Always.
No trip.
Bad trip.
Next is summers or winters?
Summer.
Definitely winters.
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Best answer.
Best answer.
Google or Alexa?
I know Ashish would be asking this.
Oh God.
This is an easy question.
Next would be web series or a movie.
Web series.
And the next one would be mobile gaming or desktop gaming.
Desktop gaming.
Desktop gaming.
Desktop.
And next one is day work or night owls.
Night owls.
Night owl. Always.
And this question is the war of the programmers, I think. Python or Java?
Python.
JavaScript.
Both.
JavaScript.
JavaScript.
Okay. So mountain or a beach?
Beach.
Mountains.
Mountain. Both. Why not?
लास्ट टू क्वेश्चन ये आपकी टीम के हैं, क्रश और पढ़ाई?
Crash.
Last one is make your bed or leave it as it is.
Make your bed every time.
Leave it as it is.
Don't even think of it.
मेरे क्लास में है.
Time in the morning.
As if it doesn't exist.
Stay in your bed, maybe. Don't have to do nothing.
एक क्लास 1 है, आपके फर्स्ट ईयर का एक्सपीरियंस होगा याद आपको, इंजीनियरिंग ड्राइंग और ये वर्कशॉप इंजीनियरिंग.
Workshop.
Yeah. So I think that was Shumank, that was the wrap up, I think, of rapid fire. Yeah.
So after this, we will be starting a Kahoot.
Yeah, a Kahoot round would be followed by this. So
I guess my screen is visible. You can all go to kahoot.it and log in with this game pin.
for those of you who haven't played this, I think it was a good experience. When first time I played this, I really loved this game and thought hopefully this should be at every event. So I hope you guys love this.
Can someone post it in the YouTube comments as well? It's kahoot.it and please enter the game pin when you enter. It's 1292040.
So just to so guys, just to be clear, each one of the viewing this video or through YouTube live stream can also play this game as well. Just go to kahoot.it and enter this game pin and you are good to go. And just to let you know, guys, it would be really appreciated that if you guys stick to your real names while entering the game. It would be really easy to deciding the winner as well.
Actually, because of the inappropriate content, I made it to custom names only, so they can just like choose one.
Yeah, that.
So they can't enter their real name. Also, you have tags for the winner, and once you like the screen shows that you have won it, please screenshot it and DM it to any of the teams, either IIPC social handles or Technoliterati.
That was because in Kahoot games in our college, that was the biggest issue. The winners would have the wackiest names of all.
Yeah, that I was warned about. We'll wait for like 15 players or so to join, then we'll start it. Shall we start the quiz? Okay, I'm starting this. Okay, the next question. Which is the first search engine in the internet? So still Golden Eagle is leading. Next question is the first web browser invented in 1990 is okay, let's see who has won this. Still Golden Eagle and Captain Raccoon are in the lead. So the next question is who is the CEO of Amazon?
I think this would be easy for everyone.
Jeff Bezos. I guess everyone knew that.
Yeah.
Still Golden Eagle and Captain Raccoon are in the lead.
Yeah, looks like Golden Eagle is really flying high today.
Who is popularly known as Human Computer of India? We only have 5 correct answers. This is a hard question. Shakuntala Devi is popularly known as the Human Computer of India. Oh, Captain Raccoon is in the lead. Oh. Which mobile company first introduced the emoji internationally on their mobile devices? Samsung, Honor, Redmi, or Apple?
This emoji would be being used quite widely in current times.
Here we Apple, that was an obvious answer, I guess. Let's see if the charts change. No, Captain Raccoon is still in the lead. The next question is which one of the following is an Indian IT company?
I must say the question level of the questions is good actually.
You can't guess them?
It's being difficult for me actually. My knowledge isn't that good actually.
Let's see if the chart. No, still Captain Raccoon is in the lead and Royal Chicken is second. The next question is, where are the headquarters of Microsoft Incorporation located?
Yeah, this one it should be easy, I think.
What do you think is the answer?
I know the answer, but I don't want to tell. I know that this answer because from there COVID used to started spreading rapidly in US actually. Firstly,
Washington, I guess everyone thought California, like a lot of people thought California. Let's see if the charts changed. Captain Raccoon is still in the lead, and Royal Chicken got second. Where
like
did Golden Eagle disappear? Who is the CEO of Google? That is a very easy question.
that should be easiest one, I think.
Yeah. Come on, 2 seconds left. 9 correct answers. Nice.
Still, it's 4 people got it wrong.
Yeah. Captain Raccoon is still in the lead.
Captain Raccoon
Which
is become
IT company's nickname is the Big Blue? Dell, Intel, IBM, or Infosys? A lot of people guessed Dell. No one guessed Intel. Let's see. Captain Raccoon still in the lead. Royal Chicken second. Who invented Java? That's an easy question.
That should be the first thing written in the Java book of my college, I think.
James Gosling, yeah, that's the right answer. Captain Raccoon still in the lead. We just got an update that the swags would be a t-shirt and a keychain of Amazon Alexa.
That's lovely.
Who created Alexa?
Yeah.
If you can answer this question. Rohit Prasad, I guess most people guessed Jeff Bezos. Captain Raccoon still leading with Royal Chicken at the second position. Next question is, who is the present CEO of Apple?
This should be again 100%, I think.
Come on, everyone can answer this. This is an easy question.
Yes, one, I think. Still 4 people got it wrong.
No one guessed Steve Jobs. I mean,
That's a surprising one.
yeah. Still, Captain Raccoon is leading. Just to remind you, if you win this, please take a screenshot of your winning thing. Otherwise, we will not be able to provide you with the swags. Next question is, what is beta test? This should be an easy question. A trial of machinery software test before commercial launch, or a test to find possible bugs before commercially releasing the product?
That's a question from my last semester software engineering subject. Oh my god.
Moving on, let's see if Captain Raccoon got replaced. No, he's still leading. And next, what's the full form of Google? Actually, Google, which represents a digit 1 followed by 100 zeros, or Global Organization of Oriented Group of Languages of Earth. Wow. Yeah, only 4 people got that correct.
Closely matched.
Yeah. Captain Raccoon still leading. What are L&T headquarters? Where are L&T headquarters located? Just a minute. On. Mumbai, a few people got that correct. Let's see if Captain Raccoon got that. He did. Who is the father of artificial intelligence? This is a difficult question. But do answer, maybe you'll guess it right. Oh, 6 people got that right. The next question is, who is the CEO of LinkedIn? Only 5 people got that right. And let's see if Captain Raccoon. Oh, are you Googling all the answers, Captain Raccoon?
Must be a fast typer. That means.
Yeah. .gif is an extension of. What do you think is the extension? Is it a video file, image file, audio file? Maybe none of it. Animation. I think it's an animation.
If I remember correctly, this was a code question in my other event as well, I think.
Yeah, it's an image file. That's why it's uploaded everywhere. Captain Raccoon still leading. I really want to know who this Captain Raccoon is now. In which year was Chromebook made public? (2012), the year we were about to die. Let's see the results. Funny Horse is in the 3rd position. And Captain Raccoon is there now.
Clapping for you, man.
Captain Raccoon, please take a screenshot shot of your screen. Otherwise, we won't be able to provide you with the swag. And I guess we can move on to the next. Yeah. So thank you everyone at the YouTube live for being a part of this and playing the game. Please take a screenshot if you want and send it to any of the socials of either Technolotrati or IIPC. I would also like to thank the speakers, Shreya Bhair, Bhagat, Aryan, Jashan, and Ashish for being a part. Special thanks to all speakers. And thanks to the team of IIPC and Technolotrati for setting up the Kahoot and making this event possible. Thank you, Karan, for being a great co-host.
Thank you, Shreya, for covering up my mistakes. It was pretty rookie mistakes from me in this session. But I would like to extend my thanks to my specifically team members, Chanpreet, Maninder, Simar, Kushdeep, and everyone from IPC and your team as well, without whom this won't have been possible and such a great session would have been great. And personally would like to thank all the speakers, Shreya, Bhagat, Aryan, Jashan, and Ashish for joining us and enlightening our audience and answering their questions as well. And over to you, Shivangi.
Thank you to the YouTube Live viewers, and that is where we would end the call. Thank you. We wait for more AMA sessions and do leave some feedback. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Thank you
thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, and thanks, Maninder, specifically, our head of IAPC, who basically chose for me this role and organizing it everywhere. So thank you, Mani. Okay, and thanks to Bangi again. And hopefully, everyone watching this video stays safe in these desperate times. Keep yourself safe, keep your surrounding and your family members safe, and yeah, keep coding and building new projects. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.